Hi, my name is Lydia Thompson, and my Teach 1 is going to focus on precision and predictive modeling. So the objective of this assignment is to use data to analyze and assess the effectiveness of antidepressants for people diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and substance abuse diagnosis. So once you've opened the data that's provided, you're going to click on the Insert button on the Excel worksheet. On the left-hand side, once you click the Insert button, the Pivot Table button should appear in the far left corner. Once you've clicked that, you're going to see this right here. You're going to make sure that in the table where it says table/range that it says sheet 1, and that's just going to make sure that the data file is actually in. So once the table shows up, it'll use the data that was provided previously. So once you've established the pivot table field should appear on the left-hand side of the screen. So once you've done that, you're going to scroll down until you see generalized anxiety disorder diagnosis. You're going to take that and you're going to drag it down to the row section of the screen. And once that appears, it should look like this right here. So the next step you're going to do, scroll down again, and you're going to drag CTI success into the column section of the pivotal table fields. So once you've dragged that, you're going to drag the CTI success one more time, but this time you're going to drag it into the value section. Once you've done that, you're going to right-click and select the value field settings. And once that pops up, it should look like this. And you're going to change where it previously was said sum, and it's going to say count now. And then once you've done that, you're just going to press OK. And this is what your results should look like. So in order to make an assessment, we have to calculate the rate of success. So the equation for rates of success are the number of successes divided by the grand total of successes. So I did the equation for generalized anxiety. So I divided that and I got a success rate of 0.32. And in the next slide, I'm going to discuss how you can do that in Excel. So here's how I did in Excel. I essentially took, in this case, it was C7, and I divided it by D7, and those were the variables that are used in the equation, and I divided it within the cell. You know how you would usually do. You press equal, and then you take the two cells that you're trying to divide, and you're just going to go and it's going to calculate it for you. So you're going to repeat the same process that we did before, but we're going to do it with each medication. So essentially the main difference is you're just going to, instead of it saying like CTI success, you're going to replace it with some of the other medications, and it should give you all of your results. So here are the medication rates of success for generalized anxiety disorder. This is what I got. So here's my verdict. The medication for generalized anxiety disorder with the highest rate appears to be Citalopram with a success rate of 0.32. So what I personally think is it's difficult to determine what works for each GAD patient because every individual is different. So their genetic severity and medical history are some of the factors that would go into changing their medication, not exclusively the success rate. So it's necessary to look at each of the patients on a case-by-case basis when deciding on your medication. So now we're going to address substance abuse. So we're going to switch the row name from where it had previously said generalized anxiety disorder diagnosis. We're going to change the row name from that to drug abuse diagnosis. And you're going to just make sure that you uncheck generalized anxiety diagnosis, and you're going to repeat the same process with each drug so that you can get the results for substance abuse success rates. And so here are the results that I got for the success rates for substance abuse. So in conclusion, the medication for substance abuse appears to be BUP with a success rate of 0.38. And what I think in conclusion, in totality, precision and predictive medicine are incredibly helpful tools to help treat the patient. However, it's so important for medical professionals to focus on the individualized care for each specific patient.